I'd love to hear like where you started researching and what are some of the things that you discovered, and and then I'd love to get into the plot too.
I think a lot of the research that I did centered around 0-day viruses and how essentially, I think one of the most scary things that I realized during that time is how our government in particular is aware of some of the 0-day viruses, and they don't patch certain vulnerable systems um, in order to not disclose or reveal that they know that they're there, which will tip off of the hackers. So
Right.
like there was
Can you
certain
first? Can you
yeah.
tell us exactly what 0-day viruses are?
Oh, yes, of course. So 0-day viruses are essentially a virus on a system or a computer that allows a hacker to enter the system, and it's due to a vulnerability. So like let's say for example you haven't updated your Microsoft Word, and so there's like a little hole almost that allows them to gain access to your computer because you haven't updated that
App.
application. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what allows people to enter into your system and then essentially take over it. And that I think is what really interested me during the writing process, because I realized nowadays that that's how we fight wars, and that's what does the most damage to our society is when um, certain systems that we rely on, and this happens in the book, electricity, for example, our electrical grid, when we rely on those so heavily, even Wi-Fi, if those were to be removed or no longer accessed, what would happen? And so playing around with that idea constantly and playing out those worst case scenarios was what inspired my novel, The Rising Order.